The phone buzzed on the coffee table, lighting up with the familiar name Dad. Ethan glanced at it once, sighed, and turned back to his laptop. He was halfway through a presentation for Monday's client meeting, a big one. Missing this could mean missing a promotion he'd been chasing for months. The phone stopped ringing. A few minutes later, it buzzed again. Dad, too, missed calls. "Come on, Dad," Ethan muttered, rubbing his temples. Not now. He loved his father. Of course he did. But lately, every conversation felt the same. Long pauses, small talk about the weather, and the same old questions. "Are you eating well, son? When will you come visit?" He always promised soon. Ethan silenced his phone, typed another paragraph, and told himself he'd call back later. But later never seemed to come. 2 days passed. Ethan finally checked his phone and saw 5 missed calls and 1 voicemail. He sighed, pressing play as he grabbed his jacket. "Hey, Ethan, it's me. Just wanted to hear your voice, son. Nothing urgent. I fixed that old radio of yours, the one you used to listen to when you were a kid. Plays just fine now. Thought you might want to take it back with you next time you visit. Anyway, take care, okay? Don't forget to eat. Love you, son." The message ended with a faint laugh, the same gentle, awkward chuckle Ethan had grown up hearing. He smiled faintly, then deleted it. He told himself he'd visit soon, maybe next weekend, Friday night. Ethan was out with coworkers celebrating a successful project. Between the music, laughter, and clinking glasses, his phone buzzed again. He didn't even look at it. The next morning, he noticed a missed call from an unknown number, then another from his father, and finally one from home. He frowned, half wondering if the old man had phone trouble again. He'd been talking about fixing things lately: clocks, radios, the old car that barely ran. Ethan decided to call later. By evening, he forgot. Sunday morning. Ethan was getting ready for a jog when his phone rang again. This time it was his aunt. "Ethan," her voice trembled. "It's your dad. There's been an accident." The world went still. What kind of accident?" "Hey, he collapsed last night. Heart failure. They tried everything, but..." The rest of her words blurred. Ethan sank to the floor, the phone slipping from his hands. His mind replayed that last voicemail, the one he deleted. "Hey, Ethan, just wanted to hear your voice. Love you, son." When Ethan reached his father's house, the smell hit him first. A mix of old books, sawdust, and the faint scent of engine oil. Nothing had changed. The same coat on the hook, the same slippers by the door, the same clock ticking softly in the corner. On the kitchen table sat a half-finished cup of coffee and a folded newspaper. Next to it, an old radio, the one from his childhood. It was spotless, gleaming as if freshly repaired. A small note sat beside it in his father's familiar, shaky handwriting. "For Ethan, it works again. Thought you might want to hear your old songs." Ethan picked it up, trembling. He turned the knob. Static filled the air. Then an old tune drifted through, the lullaby his father used to hum to help him sleep. For the first time in years, Ethan cried. In the following days, Ethan stayed at the house, helping sort things out. The silence was unbearable until he found the phone. His father's phone was simple, old-fashioned, flip style, with a cracked screen. Ethan scrolled through it aimlessly, then froze when he opened the voicemail list. There were dozens, all to him. "Hey, Ethan, you must be busy again. That's okay. Just wanted to let you know the garden's blooming. You used to love the sunflowers. Remember? Miss hearing your voice, son? Made your favorite pie. I'll keep a slice in the fridge, just in case you visit this weekend. Love you, son. Each message felt like a knife. Each one a call he'd never answered. He sat there for hours, listening, tears running down his face until he couldn't anymore. While sorting through his father's desk, Ethan found an envelope, addressed to him but never mailed. Inside was a handwritten letter. Ethan, I know you're busy and I'm proud of you. Don't ever think I'm upset that you don't call much. I just like hearing your voice. Reminds me that you're still out there chasing your dreams. Remember that night when you called me at 2 a.m. after your first job interview? You said, Dad, I made it. That was the happiest day of my life. You've already made me proud, son. I don't need anything else. Love, Dad. Ethan's hands shook as he folded the letter back. He pressed it against his chest, whispering through sobs, I should have called. Weeks passed. Ethan returned to his apartment, but the silence followed him everywhere. His phone sat on the table, quiet, just as it had been the day his father called. He couldn't bear to delete his dad's contact. Instead, he renamed it Home. Sometimes he'd dial it, knowing it would go to voicemail. The number you are trying to reach is no longer in service. Each time, he'd whisper into the receiver, I'm sorry, Dad, I hear you now. I promise. One rainy night, Ethan sat alone, staring at the old radio his father fixed. He turned the dial. Static again. Then, faintly, a voice, not a real one, just a recording from the station playing an old dedication segment. But the words felt hauntingly personal to all the fathers waiting for a call that never came. May you know your love was never wasted. Ethan smiled through tears. He whispered, thank you. A year later, Ethan volunteered at a local senior center. He helped repair their old radios and made weekly calls to some of the residents. He always made time, no matter how busy work got. One afternoon, he sat with an elderly man who was trying to fix his phone. The man chuckled. Technology's too fast for me now. Ethan smiled gently. That's okay. Sometimes, all you need is someone on the other end. As he left that day, Ethan's phone buzzed with a reminder. One he'd set months ago. Call Dad. He didn't delete it. He never would. Instead, he pressed it softly, listening to the silent ring on the other side, and whispered, Hi, Dad. Just wanted to hear your voice. The lesson of the story. Sometimes the calls we don't answer become the echoes that haunt us. We wait for the right time, not realizing that love doesn't wait. Make the call. Send the message. Visit home. Because one day, the phone will stop ringing, and you'll give anything to hear it just one more time. Don't let your business silence the voices that love you most. The time you give is the greatest gift you can ever return.